The things that we're demanding are kind of things that most people would expect are hand in hand with any employment relationship. We're asking for the riders to make living wage after costs, to have better rider safety, and to have improved rights, to be able to take holiday, to be able to, make a pension. The kind of things that most people would just assume happen when you sort of engage in any employment relationship.
Now, you lost a legal challenge to Deliveroo in 2018 when you sought to secure rights such as the UK minimum wage for riders. The court ruled that those riders are self-employed. What's changed since then?
So what the court actually ruled was that these guys were independent contractors. Like in the UK, there's this unique employment category called a LIMBY worker, where you're still self-employed. However, because you lend all of your services and you're integrated into a business, you're also afforded certain rights like holiday pay, pension, and protection from minimum wage. And that's what we were arguing. And that's what the recent Supreme Court ruling around Uber ruled, was that, Uber drivers, similar to Deliveroo riders, are actually LIMBY workers and therefore should get holiday pay, pension, and make at least minimum wage after costs. And that's what we continue to argue. We've appealed that decision. We're waiting for the judgment to be handed down. We're sure that the Uber ruling will have huge implications on that ruling. And, we expect, we shouldn't have to go through sort of strenuous litigation for a company as big as Deliveroo to kind of recognise that these workers deserve these bare minimums. These are people working 60, 70 hours a week and still failing to make minimum wage.
Alex, isn't the problem this, though? If Deliveroo gives you the benefits that you want, effectively riders are going to become employees, and that means that they can't decide, for example, how many hours they work or when.
So once again, that's the common misconception that people tend to have. They think it's, either self-employed or you become an employee. However, as I mentioned before, like in the UK, there's this unique employment relationship that the CEO of Uber actually said, it offers UK employers this incredible opportunity where workers can continue to work flexibly, but they can have these enhanced rights and these enhanced protections. And it actually works perfectly for the gig economy. This isn't a unilateral benefit for the workers. This employment category actually works fantastically for a company like Deliveroo. However, it would cost them more money because they would have to exploit the workers less and they would have to protect them more. But they're not.
Oh, that's a strong word, Alex. Exploits. That's a bit of a strong word. That.
To be completely honest, when you're working with some of our members, I think it's quite a soft word. Some of these guys are making as little as £2 an hour. A recent research found that 1 in 3 are making less than minimum wage. We're seeing workers going into work with broken limbs because they simply can't afford to take time off work. We're seeing people work late into their pregnancies and then rush back after giving birth. Like, this is the reality of the gig economy that Deliveroo don't only champion, they set aside 112 million to robustly defend, continuing to kind of employ people in this manner.
How many members do you estimate you have in the company?
We've got hundreds of members. Our membership's growing every day. Our membership has grown by at least 40% since the beginning of the pandemic. The pandemic has exacerbated many of the issues that we kind of were prevalent before, have just made so much worse by the pandemic. And despite these people, not making much money, they're still managing to afford union membership because they know just how important it is and just what we're trying to achieve here. And, they want to keep doing this job, but the way Deliveroo set the company up, they make it so unmanageable. So people are investing the little money they have in a union that's trying to transform and humanize the gig economy.
Hundreds of members. I mean, Deliveroo provides work to more than 50,000 riders in this country. That doesn't seem very many. It sounds like most people are perfectly happy.
Well, you say that. I mean, they come up with these surveys where they sort of say, rider satisfaction's at an all-time high. They never actually come up with the numbers as to how they've got to these conclusions. You speak to most of the riders on the street, none of them fill out these surveys. And Deliveroo's employment model is to deliberately oversupply an unknown demand. It costs them absolutely nothing to put more and more riders on the street. If you go out your house, you'll just see an abundance of riders hanging around street corners, waiting for their phone to ping because it costs them nothing to do this. You know, one of the main issues with a lot of our riders is the overhiring. You know, if they were actually more responsible with how many people they put on the road, you know, they could actually make the money that Deliveroo sort of pretend that they do make. You know, we're hearing more and more riders saying that overhiring is a real issue. And, you know, Deliveroo is a company that during the pandemic, they're one of the few industries that have done really well. And you'd expect this to be a bit of a windfall for these key workers. However, they've actually seen paying conditions get worse and worse.